what you could see is the mood of the team at the optional morning skate? Do you feel like you guys are in the right headspace going into game one?
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think it's a reset for everyone starting a new season here in the playoffs. Obviously, it's going to be a really tough series, but our guys have prepared hard and practiced hard going into this the last week or so, and yeah, I think we're excited to get going.
Katie?
Devontae said that regular season adversity is much different than postseason playoff adversity. The team has an advantage in that area with all the experience you have in this room going through a variety of different situations in the playoffs. How valuable will that be for the group?
Well, it'll be important. I mean, through any series, any playoffs, you're always going to face adversity, tough times. You're trying to avoid riding the emotional roller coaster. And I think that we have a team that doesn't get too worked up if things don't go our way. You know, they're not going to get too excited if things are really going our way. It's all about being prepared for what's coming at you the next, right? The next shift, the next period, the next game, whatever it is, regardless of whether you win or lose the one before that. So it's kind of been our message is focus on our process all year long and what makes us or what could make us successful. And I think the guys are bought into that. So, I mean, I think it's really important this time of the year because you're going to go through struggles, you know, throughout any series, especially when you're playing a team like the Jets.
Go ahead.
Jared, you know, right from the time the series was set, the Jets have made no secret about, you know, how important they view it is to make sure Nathan and Cale in particular don't run away.
Yeah.
What about from your perspective? Because Winnipeg's kind of more of a collective as opposed to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like we have certain keys that we've talked to our team about with the Jets, and like the biggest thing I think is it's not a big secret. They're a stingy defensive club, right? And so they're difficult to create offense against. And then when you do create offense, you know, you run into hellebuck, right? So creating offense is one challenge. We've been good at it all year, regardless of opponent, except for probably the Jets. We saw them. Like, I don't think the Jets have seen how we play yet, unless they're pre-scouting games from other opponents, which I'm sure they have, because we basically laid 2 eggs against them late in the year. And the one good game we played was back in whatever it was, November, right? So we've looked at how we feel like we're going to need to create offense, where we're going to have to be hard, what, you know, challenges that we'll have to work through in order to create that. But the biggest thing is if they're a stingy team and don't give up a lot of goals, then we also have to play the same way. We have to be a good defensive club against them. It's an area of our game where we've been really good at times during the year and struggled in other times, and our results are directly correlated with our defending details. So our guys understand it. We're ready to play a 200-foot game. We're prepared for a tough series, and you know that basically kind of sums up our messaging to our team without going into too much detail.
Corey, then Sean.
One of your players says that you need to embrace the underdog mentality, and another one said, I haven't got a. So what are your thoughts on that idea?
Yeah, regardless. Like I said the other day in my meeting, I don't care how they view it as an individual or as a team. Like, my whole belief on it is if we would have been 3-0 against the Jets and finished first overall in the whole league, I'd feel no better about going into the series than I do now. I know we're a good team. They're a good team. It's about, and we've learned this, or I've learned this over my 8 years in the league, and it's about playing your best hockey at the right time, which is now. Right? Like, it's, if you have a bad 2 weeks, now you're going home, right? If you have a good 2 weeks, now you're moving on, and then you got to go try and repeat it again 3 more times. Like our season, we've done. You don't finish with 50 wins like us and 50 plus as the Jets without doing things right all year long and focusing on the right thing. But you're still going to have to go play really well in this 2 weeks if you want to advance.
Sean.
Josh Nansen said the big key to this is belief. How much difficult is it for you as a coaching staff to create belief, not just in the players themselves, but in the game plan and a winning system when you haven't seen a lot of it in the regular season against the team that you're facing?
Yeah, well, that was part of our conversation. Like, I think our team has a lot of belief in what we do and how we have success, and they realize that, again, like, we laid 2 eggs against Winnipeg, and like, But we've played poor games against other teams throughout the course of the year as well, and then bounced back, or we've had bad segments and bounced back after we've dug into things and responded. I like about our team is like every time we give them a challenge and give them information, and that they are able to implement it and turn things around, right? It's going to happen now, but we've seen signs of it through the course of just the last few games of the season where we've done some things really well too. So I don't think belief is a big problem for our team, but when it comes specifically to the Jets, again, my message was we don't know how good we are against the Jets because we haven't shown up in the last couple of games against them. So they don't know exactly what we bring either, or at least they haven't seen it firsthand, right? So it's about getting to our game and getting into our game early, and then sticking with it longer and harder than the Jets do. It's going to be a battle. And a really tough series. And like, I just want us to put our best foot forward, and then we'll see what happens and make adjustments along the way.
Jared, we saw Sam Girard on the ice for the optional morning skate. How is he feeling, and is he an option for tonight?
Yeah, he's feeling better. It's possibly an option for tonight. Have to wait and see.
Last year at this time of year, Josh Mason came back, but he wasn't the Josh Mason we know.
Yep.
How much of a difference can a guy like that healthy make at this time of year?
Huge difference. Great year for us, right? Physical in all the defending areas, highly involved on the offensive side of it, had a career year, his best offensive year in quite some time. I think he's like depth is a key, right? And, we know we've got a good D-core back there, and Josh is a huge part of it. When you're playing now, when you've eliminated 16 teams and you're into the top 16, the depth is really important. Staying healthy is really important, and all those guys playing their best is really important. And if you're fortunate enough to move on to the 8, it's even more important. So, I like the year Josh has had, and I think he can make a big impact in this series.
Last two. Go ahead, and end with Ken.
Hey, Jared. Talked about your best, putting your best foot forward. What are the defining traits of the Colorado Avalanche? Best hockey. What are the defining traits?
Well, important traits for us in this series is going to be that we're a real good 200-foot team, right? And that involves us being in attack mode a lot, playing with speed and pace to our game, playing ahead of Winnipeg's structure. I think it's really important. They're a very structured, disciplined team. And then we're going to have to be hard in one-on-one situations, winning races and battles, etc. I think is really important as well. And then being able to do that on the defensive side as well. So I think we're a really well-rounded team. We've heard all the critics and what they think our weaknesses are, but when we're playing well, those weaknesses don't show up, right? So it's about being able to bring your complete game for this 2-week series.
Finish with Ken.
Jared, obviously Nate sees the best opponents all the time, checking lines. What specifically to the Lowry line is the biggest challenge for him in this series?
I think it's strictly the discipline that they play with. They all have the ability to check, skate, play physical, but it's more of a buy-in and a commitment to do that, over and over and over again, regardless of who they're playing against. That's what makes Lowry's line so good.
Okay, thanks, Jared.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.